Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to Demon Edge Studios. Today, I want to do some converting. I've got a bunch of these Age of Sigmar fellas, the Blood Warriors from the Age of Sigmar set, and I think I would much rather have some Khorne Berzerkers, mainly because I like to run Khorne Demonkin. And these are obviously, I mean, they're loads better models than the current Khorne Berserker line that they have out. I'd be really looking forward to an update to them, but I doubt that will happen anytime soon. So we're going to be working on this the guy with this aggressive charging stance. That's going to be the mini we're working on today. So first things first, go ahead and get everything clipped out, do any filing or anything like that. I didn't do that yet. We just start getting clipping. So one of the key things I've learned by doing these conversions is where you want to cut, if you want to cut the weapon off, you want to cut off just before the edging of the on the gauntlet. So, like, if you can see this, if you make this edging out right here, you'll cut off like right before it. Now, the thing is, too, you could actually also use this weapon as a close combat weapon. Personally, I think these should be more power weapons just because they look really cool. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I've got like 4 of these sets, so I want a bolt pistol and chain axe and or a chain sword in this one. So go ahead and you do some clipping. So you see where we cut off? It's right before. It was right before that. It was right after that edging. So now we got to figure out what to do with this other hand. As you can tell, it's got that punch dagger thing. Most people aren't going to care if you have a chainsword in this hand and this in the other. I try to be as WYSIWYG as possible. That, and I like to use these as power fists for my my champions. So now we got to decide if we want to cut it off right here, which if you do, you'll end up with a little bit of extra flak right here that kind of it takes away from the conversion. Or if you want to even just cut it off entirely and not even have to worry about having that in the model. I'm going to be cutting the whole arm off, actually, and going with a Chaos Marine arm. So that's not going to do too much, because you'll still be able to assemble it nicely. So we're going to work on assembly now. So we will go ahead, let's glue this part first. The chest piece slides right in there. Now, when you go to put this in, you want to make sure... Oops, sorry about that. You want to make sure that the surface is as flat as possible. So if you need to do any extra clipping where you clipped off the arm, make sure you do that before you assemble the model. Alright, so that looks like it'll go in good together. Go ahead and do that. Put them together. Bam. You have a armless wonder right there. So now, just obviously you decide what weapon you want. I think for the chain axe, we're just going to go with a good old standard. Just a good old standard Chaos Marine close combat weapon. Now, right here, you'll be able to slide it in right there. For the rest of the models, you will simply cut off before the glove, and I'll show you that with the bolt pistol. We'll just carry that knowledge on. But for the close combat weapon, go ahead and you just trim up the shoulder pad enough because it'll slide right in there. You just have to get it at the right. There we go. Alright. So clip it in there. Alright. Looks like that will work. So you got a little stubby right there. So push it into the shoulder pad. And you just let it dry. You may need to hold it. If you have any accelerator, I recommend using that. I also recommend cleaning off the mold lines beforehand. Now for the bolt pistol. This is the bolt pistol, and the rest of the models you will be clipping around on the gauntlet. The reason you do that is it gives a little extra ornamentation to the otherwise pretty standard looking Chaos Marine arm. So for the bolt pistol, you'll simply cut off after the glove. You'll get the full glove on there. Go ahead and spray your accelerator. Glue the glove. Couple drops on. Bam. Dry. Oops. Gotta make sure you set it at the right position. And bam. You have yourself a fairly decent looking and actually fairly cheap Khorne Berzerker. Yeah. I've already done several of these. I am having so many issues with this glue right now. There we go. I've already done several of these, as you can tell, in the background. I guess things to note when you're doing this, don't be afraid to experiment with different weapons, different things. And if it's not necessary, if you don't have to do a bunch of extra clipping and mutilation, don't. I mean, these models still cost money, and even though you're technically trying to save money by, getting this box kit and making it work for, Khorne cultists with the blood reavers, I think they're called, Khorne Berzerkers out of the blood warriors, so on and so forth. Even though you're trying to save money by getting, doing that, they still cost money, and you want to be sure when you do your conversion, you mean you're clipping. That's the main thing that I think a lot of people kind of forget about with doing conversions, and they get discouraged, they throw away the model, and it's sad all the way around. So, but anyways, so that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll be doing more of these, so go ahead, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys. Happy converting, happy painting. Bye-bye.